embarrassing moments before God knows I had, especially in my younger years. And today I want to talk about a specific embarrassing moment that always comes to mind when I think of an embarrassing moment from my younger years, and what it means now that I'm older and able to reflect on it, and how I felt at the time versus how I feel about it now. So this particular embarrassing moment occurred while I was at school. I was in the second grade, and it was recess, well, near the end of recess, and we were walking back to class. It was an outdoor school with interconnected middle schooler, elementary schooler population. And as I was walking down to class, I was walking down the sidewalk, and there's these two boys. They were middle schoolers about. They were very much older than me, facial hair coming in, and they were roughhousing, being playful and stuff. They had a basketball that they were chucking at each other, left and right, and like they were shooting the ball as if they had the intent to hit the other. And in the middle of that basketball fight that they were having, I was right there on the step to get into my classroom, and as I was gonna walk it up the stairs, they chucked the ball at the other, and one of the boys, the one that was being hurled at with the ball, he dodged the ball right as I was behind him walking into class, and the ball hit me square in the face. Now, what made this event particularly uh, embarrassing was my reaction afterwards, where they checked if I was okay, because I was sobbing and crying. And as he was checking on me, I swung my fist at him with the intent of proclaiming my righteous fury so that he would know it physically. And he managed to dodge it, and in the end, I embarrassed myself even more by tripping and falling. And in that trip and fall, I made an already vulnerable moment embarrassing innately, and in front of all my other classmates in the populative sidewalk as everyone was going back to class from recess. And I don't remember much of what happened afterwards. I know the boys didn't get caught for it or anything because I didn't remember what they looked like. And I think I was sent to the nurse's office by my teacher, but I want to talk about what happened with how embarrassing it was in nature, that moment in particular, and if it was even embarrassing at all, or if it was the vulnerability of a child who was injured and took out his emotions on another person. Was it right for me to do so at the time? I don't know. I was a boy, so maybe the right response wasn't violence, especially since he was checking in on me to make sure I was alright. But I think I could have at least handled my reaction more adequately in response to how vulnerable the situation was. I think that's what it comes down to, why it's such an embarrassing moment for me looking back at it. It is the vulnerable nature of it in front of all my peers and a bunch of other people within the school, and how I couldn't process the pain I was dealing with in that moment, and I felt exposed in front of everyone. And I guess that's part of why, or actually the major reason as to why that's such an embarrassing moment. Even though it's not embarrassing in nature for a child, it's just, a kid who's vulnerable. But yeah, that's my embarrassing moment for our embarrassing topic. Thank you for